the age of and the reasons for the fall of toddy tapping profession in early Tamil Nadu. K. Sadasivan. Toddy is a beverage which is said to reinvigorate human physique. Ancients of all times had taken some drinks, either soft or hot. We have a lot of evidences from ancient civilizations of Egypt, of Mesopotamia, and Syria, and Greece, and Rome, that the ancient people had the practice of taking some drinks to re-equip the last vigor of the body. In Tamil literature and Greco-Roman literature, we have a lot of evidences to speak the transshipment of some kind of drinks to the Tamil country by the Romans and the Greeks, Ionian Greeks. They had the Aritan ware excavated at Arikamedu, Aragankulam, and other places speak volumes about the drinks that they have taken with them to the Tamil country. In Tamil Nadu, at the early period, particularly of the Sangam age, which is said to be from BC 3rd to AD 3rd, have lot of literary evidences to corroborate the practice of drinking toddy as well as arak in Tamil Nadu. Excavations conducted in Tamil Nadu, particularly in the Kiradi and Kurundal and Erode, near Erode, Kodumanal near Erode, and other places speak about the transshipment of the wares with some kind of drinks from Roman Empire to the Tamil country. Tamils of the ancient times had the practice of drinking some soft or hot beverages, drinks, for various purposes. They have taken these beverages either as a medicine or some kind of intoxicants. Toddy is the milk of the Mother Earth given to humanity. Toddy is tapped from the Palmyra tree. Palmyra is, according to Tolkien, is a pull, means a grass. Is a straight growing pull or tree, Boracis, of the family of Aracacia. Palmyra, coconuts, areca nuts, and the palm dates, they are all of the same family. They give us the drinks the palm drinks as set in literature. Our Tamil people had a fondness for toddy tapping, toddy drawing, and drinking. Toddy is not a soft beverage, it is a mild intoxicant. If it is taken with the correct quantity, it is not disturbing the mind. If it is overdosed, it disturbs the mind and the mind loses its control over the nervous system. Thereby the man loses his control. Toddy is tapped from the palmyra tree, palmyra grass or pull, by the toddy tapper. He climbs up the tree, sits on the leaves, and he tenders the saps, and he ties a pot and the tended sap and collects the fruit, the drink. If it is not added with lime, it is toddy. If it is added with lime, it is padanir. The tapper brings down the toddy or the padanir and he sells it there or gives to the seller. Our ancients took this toddy as a mild beverage to recoup their body and to give a kind of solace, comfort, kind of a mild beverage to their friends, their relatives, the friendly royal family, ambassadors, envoys, and those who have come from outside the country. The literary sources speak that our ancient Tamil kings had a fondness for toddy, like the people. Our literature, Ettuthogai, Pattupattu, not the Padinan Kilkanaku, Ettuthogai, Pattupattu, have a lot of references to toddy. The toddy being taken at the auspicious times, like marriage, like friendly meets, like the discussions between kings and kings during the times of envoys visits, and the poets who come from long distances to meet the kings to get liberal praise as well as their liberal supply. The best example is provided by the story of the Dharmaburi king, that is Tagadur king, Adiyaman, who had invited poetess Avvai to his court, and the poetess was supplied with the meat and the toddy. The poetess speaks volumes about the liberal kindness, the liberal gifts of Tagadur king Adiyaman. Literature contains such references. Similarly, when the kings received the envoys, Kovur Kidar, for instance, when he was going as an envoy to the court of the enemy kings, he was invited and he was given a time to liberalize his body by taking some kind of drinks, particularly toddy. And Kovur Kidar speaks about the liberal gifts of the king who received. And we have a reference to Kovras, indirect indictment of the king, that his king is more powerful than the enemy king to whose court he has visited. People used to take drinks like toddy fondly. Toddy is the favorite drink of our ancient Tamils after having gone to the fields, after completing or finishing their work. They come tired at home and they used to take some quantity of this toddy to recover what they lost in the hard work under the hot sun. And the toddy gave some kind of solace to the mind. And even we have references to the literature where a prostitute invites a paramour. They used to have the drinks like toddy at the times of their conversation. Such was the importance given to toddy in those days, from the lower section to the higher level, from the working class to the ruling class. Toddy played a vital role in the recovery of the lost vigor of those workers as well as the ruling family members. But what happened to toddy taking the next year? The Kidadi excavations, the Porundal excavations, the Kodumanal excavations, the Adichanallur excavations, the Alagankulam excavations, the Kavaripumput excavations, all these speak about some kind of life-saving liquor, not the arak and the other things. They used to take during their lifetimes in those days. The people of ancient Tamil Nadu, they got the toddy from palmyra, from coconut trees, and the palm dates. They have prepared arak, the liquor, from rice, barn, then sugar cane, then the palm dates, and many other items which is spoken in our Tamil literature. But we have references in ancient India about the ancient North Indians taking the liquor, Somapana and Surabana. Somapana is a highly invigorating drink which has been prepared from the Soma tree, which is a part of the items supplied to the divine beings. The divines have been invoked by the ancient North Indians by providing the Somapana to their gods. The gods had taken this Somapana with vigor and interest and danced with their dancing girls. And these were given to the people, not the lower level people, by higher level, that is Brahmins and Kshatriyas and some Vaishyas. They were provided this Somapana at the time of the sacrifices, heart sacrifice, that is Ashwamedha sacrifice, and then Dulabara, Hiranyagarbha, and Vajapeya. These were some of the sacrifices done by the Brahmins for various purposes. At times of the sacrifices, animals were sacrificed, and the animals' flesh were taken with the invigorating somapana. The lower sections of the society, they were allowed to take the surapana, asurapana, the pana which is meant for the asuras. That is called surapana. And similarly, in the ancient North Indian life, the somapana, surapana, these two drinks are mentioned frequently in North Indian Sanskrit literature, in the Vedic literature, and other literatures of the earlier times. But during the times of sacrifices, animals like cows, bullocks, and goats, even human beings were sacrificed, and the sacrificial pits and the sacrificing animals were taken by the priestly class, the priestly class of the Atharva Veda. Atharva Veda speaks about the priestly class meant only for conducting sacrifices. They alone knows the hymns, they alone knows the sacred verses to be invoked at times of sacrifices. So when the other Vedic priests were conducting sacrifices, the sacrificial animals lose their lives. And when the sacrificing animals are lost, the farmers suffer. The bullocks which were meant for farming were driven to a lower number, and the farmers lost their animals which could not give them solace or which could not help them in their farming. So, to avoid the sacrifices and the class divisions, the Varna Dharma, and all other beliefs and practices which were against the human life, the revolting religions of Ajivagam, Jainism, Buddhism rose against the Vedic practices of sacrifices. Ajivagam is a sectarian religion which is popularized by Goshala and other Ajivagas. They had risen against the Vedic rituals and the class distinctions and sacrifices. And Vardhamana Mahavira was also a royal of North India. He renounced this world and came down and sat and underwent the tortuous penance, and he came to the people and asked them to avoid doing sacrifices, killing animals, drinking intoxicants, and toddy, and the relations with the women. Similarly, Buddhism is a mild religion, not like that as that of Ajivagam and then Jainism. Buddhism chose to be in the middle side. Buddhists also spoke about the three yams, Madhu, Madhu, Mamsa. Like Vardhamana Mahavira, they were spreading the ideas of non-killing, non-eating, non-drinking, non-cohabitation. And this spread fast. When they revolted against the Vedic religions, the Brahmin priests who lost their hold in North India were in search of new pastures, and they were coming down to South India, and they came to the middle of India. They raised their hermitages, stayed there, and from there they penetrated into Tamil country, and they brought with them the sacrificial religion and the drinking habits of the North Indians joined with the Tamil country drinking habits were mentioned in our literature. And when the Brahmin priestly class, the other Vedic and the Rigvedic people came to the Tamil country, the Brahmins, the North Indian Ajivagam, Jainism and Buddhists too followed them. And they came down to South India. The Ajivagam from the middle of India, they came to the Tamil country. The Jains from the western side, that is from Gujarat to Maharashtra to Karnataka to Kerala, that is from Erode to Satyamangalam and Madurai and Tirunelveli and then to Thiruvananthapuram and other places in South India, the Jains. The Ajivagas straight came to the Tamil country. They had their centers in Madurai and other places. The Buddhists spread to South India, first from Sri Lanka, then from the coastal areas, that is the eastern coastal area, from that of Kalinga down to Andhra Pradesh, down to Tamil Nadu, northern part of Tamil Nadu, and then came to the Tanjavur region, and then to the coastal regions to Tirunelveli. They had their hold in Madurai so much. They had their hold in Madurai, not like that of Jains and the Ajivagas. And then when the Ajivagas and the Jains and the Buddhists, who were against the three M's, Madhu, Madhu, Mamsa, again two more additions were added to the list of three. That killing of a pregnant cow is a sin, killing a Brahmin is a king, and the Panchamapadaka thus rose. Among the Panchamapadaka, drinking comes first. We have in the Kanjipuram region, Kanjipuram was the capital of the Tondayar, who were followed by the Pallavas. Tondayar were the collateral lines of the Karigala family, and the Karigalans' relatives were ruling there, Kanjipuram. And the Tondayar, after the Tondayar's decline, the Pallavas of the Satavahana line came to the Tamil country, and they stayed in Kanjipuram, and they developed Kanjipuram into a big city. Kanji had the Jina Kanji, the Buddha Kanji, the Saiva Kanji, the Vishnu Kanji. These places, we have references in the inscriptions as well as the literatures, Sanskrit literature and the Chinese literature. For instance, Pagyan Yuan Chuang. Yuan Chuang speaks volumes about Kanjipuram and how Kanji appeared to be, how the Buddhist monks were living there in Kanjipuram, and the Kanji Gadiga, how it was working. All these we are able to get from Yuan Chuang's 7th century travelogue. And other travelers who came to the Pallava country also speaks about the condition of the people of Kanjipuram. And one Sanskrit farce written by Mahendravarma Pallava, the Pallava king of the 6th century AD, 6th to 7th century AD, that is Mattavilasa Prakasana, speaks about the religion, the Saiva religion, the religion of Pasupadam, Kapaligam, and the Buddhism. He does not speak about Jainism nor other sectarian religions of Saivism. The three sections of the Buddhist section, the Pasupada section and the Kapaliga section, when he was punning, he was criticizing the lifestyle of these people he comes down on the Kabaligas. He says that Kabaligan used to take the drinks, toddy. The Kanchipuram city provided shops, toddy shops. Frequent shops were found, and these Kabaliga entered into the shops with the skull, with some pieces of the flesh, and then he having his one hand on the shoulders of his friend, lady friend, and they were walking on the streets. They could not walk steadily, falling down, and then he loses that Kabalam in one shop, and both of them walks towards, and then they understand that they have lost their Kabalam, and a Buddhist comes on there, and the Kabaligan finds fault with Buddhist who had a skull kept in the sleeves, and he had the dress covered on that. And finding that the Kabaligan, he creates a takafar between the Kabalan and then the Buddhist. And the Buddhist mildly says that he is to rush up to the Vihara, and he asks for permission to leave. And they were struggling, and the Paswara comes and he settles the matter. And the dog that stole away that Kabalam comes back with the Kabalam, and finally the matter was settled. In the Madhavadasa Prakasana, what we are able to get is a punning of drinking habits, particularly toddy drinking. So, what I would like to tell is, the Jains, the Ajivakas, and the Buddhists had their impact on the lifestyles of the people of ancient Tamil Nadu. The moral religions, the ethical religions, they had derided against taking drinks, particularly toddy and araks. They come down on the people who took these things. And in this vein, rose the Padinan Kilkanak works of Naladiyar, Tirukural, Tirikadagam, Keladi, Panjamulam, and other works. And these are moral works, ethical works, didactic poetry, philosophical works. In these works, we are able to get details about non-killing, non-drinking, and going for search of prostitutes. And this had the impact on the literature, particularly the Tirukural. Tirukural speaks about Kollamai, Ulal Unnamai, Kal Unnamai, Kaliyamai. In these 4 chapters is particularly meant for preventing toddy tapping and toddy driving. The works such as this Padinan Kilkanapu, they had their immediate impact on the Tamil people to stop toddy drawing and tapping. And again, I would like to tell you one more point. In an 8th century AD inscription of the Pallava period, we get a reference to a kind of tax levied on the toddy tappers, which was called Eeram Puchi. Eeram Puchi. Puchi means tax. Eeram means the toddy. And the Pallavas of the 8th century AD had levied a tax on the people who were drawing this toddy. And thus, the royals also understood the importance of placing some kind of restrictions on the toddy trappers, and thereby the toddy taking had slowly come down in Tamil Nadu, and with the rise of the Saivite Vaishnavite Bhakti cult, the society which was already and understood about the bad impact of taking the drinks, this Bhakti movement also added an amount to stop the practice of toddy drawing and toddy tapping. Thus, what was considered to be a very strong practice, a widely prevalent practice in the early Tamil Nadu, had been reduced to just namesake in the period of the Bhakti movement, and thus the toddy tappers, toddy drawers had been considered an evil people, an untouchable people who had to be kept outside the pale of the society. This is what we are able to get from the study of literature of the early period in Tamil Nadu. Thank you, sir.